Hi, beautiful souls. It's Kanisha with Peace, Love, and Faith. I am a twin flame ascension coach, and I'm here to also help you release any negative self programming and relax into the best version of yourself. Today's video, we're going to talk about how to let go of soulmate programming because it does not work in your twin flame union. I am in my twin flame union, and so I have learned and tried all of these tricks and tips that you learn on social media, and I can tell you right now, it does not work on your twin flame journey. And so before we get started into that, if you are looking for support on your twin flame journey, you can definitely check out my link below. I am offering a free 20-minute intro session to see if I'm the best choice for you. If we do not feel like I'm the best choice for you, I know many other coaches who would be possibly the best fit for you, and so I'm here to just help you find the best support for you. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and let's go ahead and jump into this video. So, soulmate programming, that is pretty much anything and everything that you know about relationships. It will not work in your union. And you're like, well, then how am I supposed to have a relationship with this person? Well, your divine counterpart is the perfect mirror and the only person who is going to mirror you perfectly. And they're going to help you heal and become the best version of yourself by helping bring up all of your nonsense and crap and stuff that is not in alignment with love. And that could be them just really triggering parts of you that need unconditional love in that space. And so I hear a lot of things about black cat and golden retriever nonsense, or go no contact and give the Care Bear stare hug thing. I don't remember. There's just a lot of things on TikTok and social media that is really mind games, just a bunch of BS. And those things are not going to work on your twin flame, because if you're trying to manipulate them, or you're trying to withhold love from them in order to starve them of your love, you're actually going to have that reflected back to you, because they are you. They're one with you. And so whatever you're doing to them in order to get their attention, it's going to actually backfire, because it's going to mirror back to you what you're doing. So say I'm choosing to ignore my twin flame in hopes that me ignoring him is going to make him want to call me. I've tried this. It does not work that way, because say him and I are one, and let's remove like him and I just put myself there. If I'm ignoring him or ignoring the mirror and trying to get something from him, the mirror is just going to reflect back to me what I'm already doing. And so this is why it doesn't work with a twin flame. It will work with a soulmate for sure, absolutely. That's where you learned it from. But with a twin flame, they're always mirroring you in every single moment. So if you're trying to do something in order to get something from them, it's never going to work, and you're going to wait for a very long time. Because only you can change. If you change, then they change. So say you're ignoring your twin flame because they're not communicating with you. Well, then I would ask you, what about it is bothering you that them not communicating you is triggering you so badly for you to want to withhold love or communication? And a lot of people are like, well, I just want to be a priority and I want their attention. Okay, well, are you now seeking your prioritization and attention from them, or are you giving it to yourself? I guarantee you, once you truly give it to yourself and you get to a place where you're absolutely okay with that attention and you being a priority within yourself, they will turn around and mirror that right back to you. And a lot of people are not recognizing that a twin flame is not here to have a codependent relationship with you, which is what you're trying to have with them. They're here to help you recognize that you're whole and complete on your own. And they're here to help you align with the best version of yourself. And so they're not going to mirror back to you these mind games or this manipulation or this tactic that you think is going to work, and fall for that game, because ultimately on a soul level what they're saying is, you're divine and you're better than this, and I'm not going to meet you in this space because it's not loving. And when you start to really move from your union from a place of unconditional love and compassion and giving to yourself what you need instead of seeking it from them, you will see that your union actually balances out, and you will have this really divine, loving, healthy relationship. Now, another thing that I really recommend, especially if you don't have friends or family that are on the twin flame journey, which I find is very common, as there's like one person maybe who has heard of it in your life, but other than that, it's like just you and you're the only one getting synchronicities and signs, is I don't recommend you spending a lot of time or sharing a lot of time about your relationship to other people. I've had clients who left and right are just telling everyone about everything that's happened with their twin flame, and everyone's like, why the heck are you still talking to this person? And I'm just like, all you're doing is telling them your trauma, your stuff that's coming up to the surface that this twin flame is bringing up for you. First of all, you don't get to choose your twin flame. Just a side note, disclaimer, you don't get to choose your twin flame. They're attracted into your life. You don't get to choose the avatar body they come into. Y'all don't get to choose these things, okay? I had this upset. But once you really clear it and you see them clearly, because you see yourself clearly, you'll recognize like, oh my God, this is a perfect person for me. So anyways, what they would do is they would tell everybody everything that's going on in their relationship, and to the outside it's gonna look toxic. Well, it's because you're toxic. Sorry, but that's the case. You're in a toxic space. And this might be triggering for some people, but I'm just gonna be straightforward. I don't sugarcoat things. I don't deal with bullshit, okay? That's the kind of coach. I'm a no bullshit kind of coach. And so when you're telling them all these things, you're really just expressing to them all the things that were already within you that are now coming to the surface that this person has mirrored back to you so that it could be cleared. But instead of clearing it, you're over here telling everyone about it. And I'm just like, don't do that, because you're now setting up not a very strong or loving foundation for your family to receive that person. The other thing they do is they go to their friends and they listen to their friends' advice. And their friends' advice are soulmate programming instead of programming of understanding a true twin flame union, which is, and I said this in my last video, is that your twin flame is your teacher first, foremost. Anything else, they're your teacher first. They're going to bring up, hey, you're really insecure here. Let me bring this up by doing something triggering. It's never intentional. It's never personal. It's just part of how the divine moves through them. God moves through them in order to help you align in that space. I did this the other day where my twin flame really triggered me, and I was like, this man, and then I, for just a moment, was like, no, he's your teacher. And I'm like, oh. And so I took a step back and I was like, okay, like, what is this bringing up to me? And then I moved through it and I was like, oh, he's not responsible for my feelings, and he's not responsible for my happiness, and he's not responsible to make me feel good all the time. And so I moved through it. I felt through it. I gave myself what I needed. And long and behold, my man calls me later and was like, hey, let's talk about this because I think there's a miscommunication happening here. And best believe there was. Any upset you have with your twin flame is a miscommunication. And it's coming up to show you where you have a misaligned belief within yourself, and that's why it's triggering you. I hope y'all are following. Please hit follow below, or type in follow below and let me know you're following. So ultimately, your twin flame is not here to hurt you or upset you. They're here to love you unconditionally by showing you where you're not unconditionally loving yourself or accepting yourself or having compassion with yourself or even giving yourself the attention and the approval or the reassurance. All these places where you're looking for love or validation or something outside of you, your twin flame is going to trigger that so that you can stop doing that. And you will start to get in this habit. I do it with the mirror exercise where I'm like, oh, I'm triggered. Let me feel my feelings. I fill up my cup. I give myself what I need. I feel complete in that space. I'm no longer upset with my twin flame. And then long and behold, he mirrors back the love I just gave myself. And we go deeper into our relationship. No one talks about that in TikToks, like, oh, if he wanted to, he would. If she actually wanted to be with you, she would say something. Oh, that's bullshit. All of it's bullshit. All of it. Do not. I will call my clients out when they send me things and I'm like, totally discard that. That does not work in a twin flame union. They are you. You are them. Okay? If you want the mirror to smile at you, you have to smile at it first. If you want your twin flame to change, you have to change first, because they're mirroring to you where you're out of alignment with something. Once you actually heal it and you change, oh my God, your true twin flame and your true twin flame only will be the only person to mirror that to you in that space. And so one of the things that people get stuck on when they're doing the mirror exercise, sorry, I don't know what that face was, it's just like when you get stuck on, like, is that they'll do the mirror exercise and they expect everyone else to change. And I'm like, that is not your twin flame. They're not going to. Either they will, sometimes they'll stop doing what they're doing, but the majority of the time it just stops annoying you and it stops triggering you and you're able to move on. But with your twin flame, they will absolutely mirror back to you the change, and they will also love you in that space. And so if you're not experiencing that with your twin flame, it's because somewhere you're not changing. And I hear people say all the time, well, I'm doing the inner work. And I'm like, no, you're not. You're doing the outer work. I see you trying to do things outwardly or change things, or this is a big one around like loving themselves. They're like, well, I booked a hair appointment and I went to the spa and I bought myself some nice things. Y'all, that is not loving yourself. That's maintaining and loving yourself outwardly. But I'm talking about the inner work. I'm talking about the soul level, cell changing inner work. Okay. And you know that you've changed because those things that bother you no longer trigger you, or they no longer bring up an emotional charge within you. And so if there are things that you still feel an emotional charge, you actually haven't let it go and healed it. And so you're going to see that reflected back to you by your twin flame. So I'm just letting you guys know that anything that you hear on social media that isn't alignment, for me, what I've learned isn't alignment with the work that I do, which is the teachings of union, the mirror exercise. There's some twin flame coaches out there that have nothing to affiliate with Twin Flames Universe, who, for the most part, they give some great information, and I love it. Like, some people are in alignment with that stuff, but there are a lot of coaches out there who are in alignment with separation consciousness, and so they're saying things like, they need to heal this one thing over here, and then you two can come together. No, if your twin flame has an upset, you can, let them heal their own upset, or you can heal the upset within yourself. How does it make you feel? There's been many times where my twin flame is moving through something, and instead of trying to get him to move through it, I just move through my feelings around it. And because we're one, as soon as I start moving through it, so does he. And then we meet each other in peace. We're not waiting on each other. We're not waiting for each other to change. We change about how we feel within it, and then we meet each other there every time. I can't tell you how many times I tried to communicate with my twin flame on the outside to get things to change, and nothing budged. We're having the same conversation and the same argument. And then as soon as I go within and I truly heal it at the core using the mirror exercise or booking a session with my coach, then with less than 24 hours, sometimes instantly, he would call me and be like, okay, this is what I came to. This is my understanding. This was my revelation. And I'm like, holy we met each other here. Like, that's exactly the revelation I came to. It's because you're one consciousness, okay? And only your true twin flame is going to meet you there. No one else is going to meet you there. And so when you truly do the work and you stop going to friends and family and you stop going to social media and you actually just do the work, you will see things shift so quickly. So if you need support, definitely, again, check out that link below for a free 20-minute consultation. That is where we will get clear on what your next steps are, what your goals are, and what you really desire in your union. And then you get to choose whether or not you want to move forward and have that support and really, like, truly have your twin flame union, or you continue lollygagging. One of the biggest things I see people having a hard time in is that they want their union, but they're not willing to invest in their union. My union was the one thing that I was investing in the most, whether it was investing in learning the work, investing in having classes. And I'm so grateful that I did, because, oh my God, I love this man, and to spend more time in separation from him would have been freaking miserable. But instead, I put my head down and I did the work, and now I see my man, if not almost every day, and I talk to him every day, and we are building a life together, and we're looking forward to moving in together and getting married and having children. Like, these are things that seemed impossible last year, and this year things are shifting left and right. Like, it's crazy, but because I'm choosing to do the work and recognizing the only person who needs to change is me. And once I change, my perfect mirror, my divine counterpart, my masculine, reflects that change instantly. So I 100% guarantee you coming into union with your twin flame. I have so many unions, people who came to me who didn't even know their twin flame, who didn't even know much about themselves and who are now thriving and living their best life because they're embodying the best version of themselves, and also because their divine lover is now in their life. And I've had people come in who are like, I would never see my twin flame coming into a session, who literally have their twin flame now and coming into sessions and working with me. It's crazy. So if you can believe in yourself and invest in yourself and invest in your union, and know that your union is literally the most important thing, it's going to be the center of everything that you do. It is how you were created, was in union with your twin flame, and you choose to go all in, you will see that absolutely reflected back to you. So I know this was helpful. And I will plan to see you guys soon. Okay, peace, love, and faith. Bye bye.